Hey guys, I am the Seaman235 and I am back with another video. Sorry about not making anything for a little bit, I've just been really lazy. That's really it, it's just laziness. But, sorry about the background noise as well. I have an air conditioner, a new one, because my old one broke, which is awesome. I love it when that happens, especially during summer. So good. So yeah, broken air conditioners aside, I wanted to touch on this in a smaller video, hopefully small, depends on if I keep rambling or not, which I probably will, so let's get to the point. So, it was revealed a while ago that, and to be fair, I shouldn't even say a while ago, I think everybody sort of always knew it, but nobody really talks about it, if that makes any sense. I sort of had a feeling, but unfortunately my feelings turned out to be, like, truth, is that Xbox has DRM on their backwards compatibility games, which, I mean, I think we all sort of figured and knew, but I still don't. It's one of those things that I just sort of, I guess, know about it, but I also didn't know for sure, but it came out that, yeah, this is sort of a big, people made a big stink about it, for good reason, mind you, because I think it's stupid. Now, it's essentially what Xbox One tried to do with their games, where they had an always online thing at first, and now, like, they did it. Granted, it's not with every game, but they still did it, and that is just so stupid. Like, I understand always needing to be online for, like, a cloud saving or something like that, or having cloud syncing, but, like, this is kind of brought up a big issue for me, is, game preservation is really something I think developers need to focus on. I don't know what can be really done about it, but this is something I've gotten increasingly more annoyed at, especially since, you know, granted, this is because of COVID as well, but, like, retro gaming prices have increased, and it's just all three big companies have had major issues when it comes to backwards compatibility or, you know, just preservation in general, really. Like, Xbox has a crappy DRM, PlayStation has a crappy DRM, and they're gonna shut down the PlayStation Store eventually. Yeah, I know what they did. They softened the blow a bit by making it so it's not gonna happen just yet, but it will happen. The PSP Store, I'm pretty sure, is done. But, like, eventually I don't even think you're going to be able to do anything with your PSP besides offline stuff. You're not even going to be able to get updates. So the PSP is pretty much dead. And so many games that I want to play, I still have to get. I still have to get Soul Calibur, Broken Destiny, and the Sonic Rivals games. And some of the Final Fantasy stuff, because some of that is really good. But yeah, that's really annoying. And, PlayStation Vita, yeah, they didn't shut that down yet, but they're going to. And it's just such a massive pain. Like, I really just don't understand why it's so hard for companies to realize people still want to play older games. Like, Sony flat out had Jim Ryan make a stupid as fuck take about retro games. Microsoft says they care, but they have a DRM on them, so really, I call that into question. Yeah, I still think it's better than what Sony does. At least we're allowed to play the games after we get them downloaded and get the emulators for them. But that's still not good, you know? That's still DRM nonsense, and I still think it's dumb. Then we have, Nintendo, which I don't even know what the fuck. They don't even care. They're sort of better than Sony because they care a little bit more. See, they care about their older games for profit, and that's about it. They care about them when they want to care about them, but when they don't, they really don't. Take Mario 3D All-Stars, for example. They re-released those games for a limited time only, in such a half-assed collection. They did eventually patch some stuff to make them less half-assed, but you're certainly not going to get them now. I have one of the rarest games of all time now, all because Nintendo just did not fucking care. Now, you can say, oh, well, you have no right to judge because you bought it. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe I don't, but I also would argue that you don't have a right to judge because you didn't buy it. So this whole you can't judge because you did or did not buy something is a stupid argument and should die. So get fucked. Sorry, just wanted to make that perfectly clear. But the point is, it's just something that isn't becoming an increasing problem, and it needs to be addressed at some point, because eventually we're going to get to a point, like, nothing... These stuff, we take it for granted, but it is finite. Nothing lasts forever, and eventually these servers are going to go down, or these games are going to be lost forever. Yeah, I know we always have the ROMs, but let's be honest here, like, isn't it kind of sad that we have to essentially, like, pirate the games in order to, you know, play them? Isn't it just a little bit sad? I don't know. It's sad to me because it shows me that the future of older games really is just... It's one of those things where we really are just going to have to, like... You know, we're going to have to use ROMs, we're going to have to use emulation in order to play these older games, and that sucks. You know? Like, they could be doing so much with those. Something I had an idea for, and I know that this will never, ever, ever happen. I know it won't. But I do think it would be cool if maybe the companies who own these systems made newer versions of them. Not necessarily like NES classics. No, I mean, if you could take the older consoles and make new versions of them for HD TVs, and they could play GameCube games, they could play Wii games, they could play PS2 games or PS1 games, like all of them. So long as they were an actual, like, authentic disc, they could play them. You know? And I mean, like, official ones. Not, like, something made by some third party or whatever. I mean, like, an actual, genuine one. Like, say, if Sony made a PS2 that could play all of the PS2 games, you know, not necessarily a PS2 classic, like a brand new PS2 or a brand new PS3 or something. I don't know. Something along those lines, because Sony has such, like, all of their consoles have such a great library, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 not as much, but still a pretty decent one, and PlayStation 4 is still not as much, but still a good library overall. I think people would enjoy that. It's just, it's becoming increasingly clear that unfortunately, game companies really do not care about preserving their stuff. Some do, but it's very rare, and it's none of the companies who create consoles. So no, Nintendo doesn't care. No, I'm sorry, I don't think Microsoft cares either because of their DRM. Yeah, I'm going to continue to support it because, yes, it is the best way to play those games, but I still don't like how there is a DRM. It's dumb. And, no, I don't... Sony definitely... They flat out even said they don't care. So, it's just... It's worrying. It's very, very worrying. I'm sorry coming back with a negative video, but this is nothing new. I'm not the first to bitch about this. I'm not even going to be the last. There are probably thousands of people who have made videos about this, but I wanted to make a video about this to sort of clarify, because, you know, in my Sony rants, I kind of gave Microsoft a lot of credit, but I kind of have to take some of that credit back. It also doesn't help that we have the C-bomb issue, which will eventually kill the Sony platforms whenever the servers for the PS3 go offline. And you know they will. Sure, they put them back up now, but they're not going to keep them on forever. They're not. You know, alright? They aren't. They need to address the C-bomb issue as well. You know, this will be my last video on the subject for a little bit unless some new info comes out that I feel I have to talk about. But yeah, like Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, I know you're not watching this, but if anybody happens to see this, you need to do better when it comes to this stuff. Retro gaming is really big now. Gaming from the past in general is becoming a bigger and bigger deal as gaming becomes a bigger and bigger thing. Especially for, like, games from the past that people have a lot of nostalgia for. A lot of people are getting nostalgic for PS3 and 360 games. And, luckily I kept most of mine, but not everybody did. So, I feel like there's a market for this stuff, and I feel like companies need to start doing something with it to preserve this stuff, Of course, also they would want to do it to make money, because, let's be honest here, making money is the name of the game here, but still, it's just, I feel like these companies need to do better with this. That's all. I'm the Seaman235, signing out. Hopefully, I'll probably see you guys again when E3 happens. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a pre-E3 video. I'm probably just going to do E3 stuff in general, like in one big video, and that's it. So, So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys then.